your name on
I needed some good news around here.
Keep it up. There's lots going on.
Yeah.
We just had our best January for economic development. Think about what we did last year. Big deal.
Thank you so much.
Governor, welcome. Hey, Judge. Hey, good to see you. Yeah, thanks for having us. Thank you. Appreciate it. We bring good news. We like good news, Governor. All right. Hey, good to see you, Judge. Thank you for being here. Absolutely. How's the son? He's fine. He's just fine. He didn't even have a signal.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Today I want to welcome all of our visitors. So we'll welcome Governor Beshear. Some of you may have heard what I'm getting ready to say, but I have had the honor and privilege of working with 6 governors. And usually when the governor is on TV or doing something in the community, constituents will tell me that I'm going to go home and listen to the governor. Well, in the last 2 years, this governor has connected with the people probably better than any of the governors that I've worked with.
That's kind.
They call him Andy. They don't call him Governor Beshear. I've never heard that in our constituents. So thank you for being here today.
Sir.
And thank you. You know, I did look up to try to find a rabbit's foot. The governor's had the first year pandemic, carried forward, and you had some tornadoes.
Ice storm.
Ice storm.
Flooding.
But good Lord will take care of that. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, Governor Beshear.
Thank you. Judge, thank you, and thank you for your service. We appreciate your leadership, and there are 2 governors, Beshear, that have enjoyed working with you. And I am more than happy to be known simply as Andy. I will take it any day. I'm excited to be here today with my senior advisor, Rocky Atkins, as well as Bobby Jo Lewis from our transportation cabinet. When she's here, you know it's going to be a good day. And we bring good news and some really big checks. People always say we like to see the governor in our community, but especially when he brings a couple checks for the community. I'm happy to be here in Bardstown with exciting news about investments. That's what we're making here today, investments in this community so that we can all together build that better Kentucky. We're announcing an important education announcement. That's the really big check. We're announcing some news on safety and awards related to it, as well as a major project funded by about $1.7 million of our Cleaner Water Program. Let's start there. The Cleaner Water Program is about doing what's right, and it was also created from something that's right. Doing what's right is making sure everybody has clean drinking water. It is a basic human right. And having systems that work can go from people having the safety of a water and sanitary sewer system to the system having the pressure to fight a fire in a neighborhood that otherwise might not get that type of service. But it also came from a process that was right. Something that many people thought maybe couldn't happen in Frankfurt or Washington, D.C. anymore, and that's bipartisan agreement. It was at the end of the last session of the General Assembly, one where we didn't always have bipartisan agreement. There were times during that last session that felt like a bad doctor's visit for me. I won't tell you what type of doctor. Everybody figured it out. But near the end, we did what we were supposed to do. What we should really do every day, and that's simply act like adults. We sat down and we were able to come to an agreement on how to appropriate about $1 billion of the American Rescue Plan Act dollars. It's everything from paying off part of our unemployment loan from the federal government. It was about providing hundreds of millions of dollars for broadband, that infrastructure for the future, and we continue to push to run fiber, have high-speed internet for every single home across Kentucky, for education, for health care, for business. We know it's absolutely essential. And then it was $250 million for this Cleaner Water Program. Modernizing our infrastructure, especially water and sewer systems, is vital for the Commonwealth. Yes, we talked about the health of our people, but also what about the health of our economy? We know that without the right type of systems and without having them where they are needed, that next economic development project might not come right here, might not be able to land at that site where we want to put it at. In fact, one of the last conversations that you and I had was the need for some additional sewer projects to support economic development in this county. It can absolutely be the difference, and for every $1 million you put in water and sewer projects, it creates full-time jobs. In fact, this program, we think, is going to create 3,800 new jobs across the Commonwealth. Now, we talked a little bit about bipartisan agreement in the legislature and with the executive branch. Sometimes even with the House and the Senate can be challenging. But this program also required collaboration among local leaders. It required that county judges and mayors come together and agree on what projects they would apply for together. And you know what? I've been really humbled and excited to see that there has been agreement in all 120 counties on the projects that we'll be moving forward with. You set a great example in Nelson County and in all of its cities with mayors, the county judge, and the county leadership coming together. That's a good example that we could take some notes on in Frankfort, and we could send on up to our nation's capital. It's really a testament to y'all's leadership. You got a community that is on the move. You do so much, including being the capital of a very delicious product. So with that, let's get to it. First, we have an award for the Northern Nelson Water District. It'll use, because the engineers work on this, $1,687,955 towards a $13.1 million project that will greatly increase system capacity. The project's being driven by the incredible growth that we're seeing right here in Nelson County. The North Nelson Water District will build about 46,000 linear feet of 24-inch water main outfitted with a new master control, valves, hydrants, and more. These upgrades will allow the district to accept the purchase of more water from the Louisville Watere Co, which in turn will sell to the City of Bardstown. Now, Bardstown needs this supply to ensure that it can meet all the new businesses moving to the city. How good does that sound? Really? All the new businesses moving to the city and the county. City of Bardstown is also seeing increased demand from the customers it supplies wholesale service to, including the City of Bloomfield, City of New Haven, and the LaRue County Water District. So I'd ask Cole Sissel, Judge, please join us to accept this check. Cole? Yeah. Anybody else, Judge, you'd like to have up here? The magistrates. Come on. Mayor. Nikki. Well, the mayor's going to be able to accept some dollars here in a minute, too. But I'm happy however Dick wants to do it. Come on in.
The one down the end always swallows everything, so
Great. Cole, you mind sharing a few words about the project? Sure. Thank you. Great, thank you.
So as the governor said, this project's a huge win-win for not only Nelson County, but our entire region. This project's going to provide us with the assurance that we will have an adequate and reliable source of water for many, many years to come. This project was a team effort. Without the cooperation of the Nelson Fiscal Court, the City of Bardstown, and Louisville Water Company, this project would still just be a dream. But through teamwork and cooperation, it will soon be a reality. And I can tell you that North Nelson Water District is very proud to be a member of the team that is making this project a reality. Thank you all.
Very good. And we're very proud that all of y'all are part of Team Kentucky. What we can do together, we are seeing today. So congratulations on the water sewer project. But next, we have awards that will improve safety and travel time on important roadways in this region. Early on in my administration, I asked our engineers in the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, something Bobby Joe has overseen, with finding the roadways all over the Commonwealth most in need of fixing up. From that list, we've directed millions of dollars to make sure we're getting these improvements where people live. None of it was about red or blue or Democrat or Republican. It was simply about the need. I believe in government. Our job is not to move the state right or left, but to move it forward. And there's plenty we can do for our families every single day that we should all be able to agree on. So today, I'm happy to announce that the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet Discretionary Awards for Nelson County. First, we're awarding $51,000 to surface a bit more than 1 mile of Patton Road, beginning where it intersects with Icetown Road. I'm told this stretch hadn't had any significant work since 2005. So a new covering of asphalt will be welcome, I think, by everybody on that roadway. Our next award is for $109,500 to resurface Irish Ridge Road. The project will be run from Plum Run Road to Highway 162. That's a total of 2.3 miles, and if I'm not mistaken, it was last worked on in 2009. So, if Judge Watts could join me and magistrates too, to accept these transportation checks for the one major. So together, it is $160,500.
This is actually in Eric's district here.
I was so glad
the big guy
to have
beside
this.
I'm going to get a box to stamp.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Somebody want to talk about this project a little bit?
Eric, this guy's, he's short. We got to break it in. Guys. Short though, Eric.
When I get a little windy, Judge. No, it's, I'm telling you, the county, us magistrates as a whole, we, our blacktop funds are limited, so anytime that we can get some kind of extra benefit, and we're just so thankful in our district and as a county that, you've chosen to place those funds here because they're much needed and we could probably always use a little bit more, so thank you, Governor.
We'll see what we can do.
I appreciate it. It was a wonderful thing.
They never give up, Governor. They never give up.
All right, next up, we have an award for the City of Bardstown of almost $245,000 to resurface, now you're going to have to help me, Filiatro? There you go, Filiatro Lane. I did all right. I still brought the money for it. This is a major connector for 3 light industrial park areas, multiple distilleries and businesses such as Lowe's and Kentucky Gun Company, plus multiple residential neighborhoods. It's a high traffic road and its resurfacing is badly needed. And on top of that, we have $46,000 or nearly to resurface Spencer Mattingly Lane. This road provides access to industrial parks with a lot of tractor-trailer traffic. It's also the primary access to Dean Watts Sports Park, which is the site of soccer, football, and baseball leagues for Nelson County. So I will see you there during the baseball travel season. So if Bardstown Mayor Dick Heaton could please join us to accept these checks. In all, $290,400, Mayor. All right, you want to offer us a few words on
Yes,
these
sir.
projects?
Thank you. I would just like to talk a bit about the water project money we got, because that is going to help both Bardstown, North Nelson, and we supply the water for the entire city of Bardstown and county and a number of cities like Bluefield and New Haven here in Nelson County. So it's greatly needed. Governor Rocky, you took time to meet with the judge and I last fall, I think, when you all were here, and thank you for that. And I think that discussion has paid off today in those water funds. A lot of growth here, but the real growth here is in our bourbon industry. They use a ton of water. So we have got to get a lot of water here to keep up with all that growth. And as far as the transportation funds, the governor identified Filiatro Lane. It's kind of difficult, in Kentucky. Versailles, Versailles, Filiatro, you don't really know how to do these French words, but it's going to, you've named all the reasons we need that. That road is 2.3 miles. That's one of the longest roads we have here in Bardstown. And that road itself consumes 40% of our annual budget if we pave it at one time. Wow. So this money will go a great way to help us do that, because we've been putting that off a while because your general fund's not growing as fast as some of your other funds, and transportation, you guys know that. And thanks for the money for Spencer Manley Lane, because the judge and the magistrates have been waiting for me to take over the last section of that. Haven't spent a dime on it in 20 years. Now I'm going to have some money to pay it, since they haven't been paying it for the last 20 years. So thank you.
Like 25 years.
Well, again, congratulations, and we are not. Last one is really special. It's the grand finale because I like our counties, I like our cities, but I love our public school system. I am a graduate of Kentucky's public school systems. Without it, would not have been able to accomplish in my life what I've had the opportunity to, and I'm grateful for all the teachers and everybody that helped me through. As governor, I believe education is the way we build a better Kentucky. It's the way we build the world-class workforce for the world-class companies that keep choosing us, especially in this last year. It's also the way that we make sure everybody gets a shot. Regardless of your background or your upbringing, when we invest in our public schools, it gives true opportunity to our children. With that in mind, we are always looking for ways to improve our school systems around the Commonwealth. Today, we're taking another step forward on that journey to build the world-class education system in this community. As part of my Better Kentucky plan, we are sending $75 million to school districts around the state to fund renovation projects at local area vocational education centers. And what a time to do it. With so many industries of the future locating in Kentucky, choosing Kentucky, we just announced another agri-tech facility today that's creating hundreds of jobs in Kentucky. What a better time to go into these facilities, to get state-of-the-art equipment, to be able to retool in so many ways what they do towards our employers that are locating right here. So this funding can be used for the cost of renovations, upgrades, expansions, repairs, or to replace and rebuild structures. So here it is. For Bardstown City Schools, that share, our award from this program, is $10 million. It's also good news that that's the maximum. So in this application, and competition was fierce. The difference between the last application that was funded and the one wasn't was half a point. So I know a lot of thanks go out to everybody who worked on that application, and the school system really putting its best foot forward. These are dollars that are earned. They're not simply given. They're going to be used to fund upgrades and bolster renovation plans at the district's 5th Street campus. The district's in the process of converting the former Bardstown Elementary School building into a centralized career and technical education center. The grant will enhance those renovations and will also pay for equipment needed for the 10 career and technical education studies the district offers. Bardstown City Schools is one of just 6 school systems to receive the full $10 million grant award. So I'd ask Superintendent Ryan Clark and anybody else he'd like to join him to please accept this gigantic check. You want to have the students?
Yes. Right there you go. Kids, yep. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we're excited. It's one of my favorite things to do. Grab a hold of that. And now I'm going to ask you, have you ever held $10 million? Whatever you do, don't drop it.
Here, let me do it.
Here, let's lower it just a little bit. We don't want to. There we go. Get yours. Great. Ryan, you want to provide a few words on this? Yes.
Well, it's very special to be standing right in the heart of the Bardstown City School District, standing here at the Court Square. We're right in the middle of our district boundaries, and we serve a very diverse and special population of students and serve the city of Bardstown. I'm very fortunate to serve such a forward-thinking team that are part of my district, administrators, teachers, and of course students that are always pushing us to be creative and innovative. Also, a very forward-thinking board that is so supportive of innovation and excellence that we really strive for. We made some decisions, I think 4 years ago, and so timing's everything. It's interesting that we're here now to build a new elementary school. Well, when that new elementary school was decided to be built, it created opportunities for expansion on our main campus, and dominoes started to fall. So it'll create empty space in our former elementary school, and this $10 million is going to go to renovate that space to create these amazing pathways. So with these pathways, we're going to have, of course, opportunities to make the spaces that kids are working in now, like areas like allied health or engineering, just to name a couple, and make those spaces even that much more exciting and a place where kids will really be a lot more engaged with new equipment and so forth. But also puts us in a position to be able to expand and think about other pathways. We do a really good job of, I think, of getting in tune with kids and talking to them about their hopes and dreams and desires, and listening to those, I think, has really put us on the path that we're on now. So I think listening to them has done that. So I think that our students are going to totally benefit from this grant and the future work that we have planned for the district. I feel very fortunate to be superintendent during this time, especially in a place where I was born and raised. This is very special to me. So on behalf of Bardstown City Schools, I am so appreciative of this grant, and think it's going to just do amazing things for kids. So thank you.
All right. Yes. We'd like to hear from our students. Yeah. I don't have names. On the spot. There you go.
They were prepared to speak.
Oh, listen, y'all are the stars of the show. Tell us about your career paths.
I'm in the engineering career path at Bardstown, and I plan to pursue architectural design or a field in architecture through the pathways.
Outstanding.
I've been in the allied health pathway for almost my entire high school. I've done just about every class you can take, and last year I took the M&A exam, and so I'm working currently as a certified nursing assistant, and I hope to further pursue nursing after I graduate high school.
So just a couple of comments on, so I'm joined, this is Cameron Farrell again, and Kyra Spalding Allen, and as Cameron mentioned, when I think about what this grant opportunity is going to do for our school district, I think back to about 2 years ago when, and as Dr. Clark mentioned, where we really get in tune with students. We sat down with every student at the high school and asked them what type of educational programming would they like to see on our campus. Of course, we work really hard to align it with education or industry demands as well here locally and regionally. But we sat down with every single one of them, and about a quarter of our students, over 25%, said we want health science. We're interested in some sort of health science. Well, at the time, we were unable to have the resources to have health sciences on our campus. And so we did as many educators are required to do, and we got creative, and we came up with the funding, and we hired a health science teacher on our campus. We now have over 160 students enrolled in that program, 8th grade through 12th. And in Cameron's instance, she went through, as she mentioned, she completed all the programming, dual credit opportunities, so gave her early college preparation, and then she got her certification in the field, which gives employers the confidence needed to hire young students like this, which will hopefully end up helping us retain a local workforce that will benefit us for years to come. And actually, Cameron had to ask off or asked to go into work a little late today so she could be here today. So I'm glad they let you off. But but it's certainly a pleasure to be here today. Write her a note. But the investments in infrastructure and everything that we heard today are so important. Of course, I'm a little bit biased to education, but these are going to provide short-term and long-term benefits to this community for years to come, and most importantly, it's going to change the lives of generations to come. So we certainly appreciate it, Governor, and everyone else. Thank you so much.
We appreciate that. Well, I want to congratulate both Bardstown and Nelson County and all its municipalities on these awards today. This is what happens when you invest. You've seen what the school system has been able to do by listening, being thoughtful, and then already taking that next step to invest. You've seen what the county and the city have been able to do in terms of bringing in new jobs if we invest. I believe that we are at a critical moment in time where the investments we make right now will set our trajectory for the next 20 years. Yes, we have had the best year for economic development in our history last year, and we have arrived. We're the talk of every boardroom across America, and every country now not only knows who we are and where we are, but what we can do. We will never be a flyover state ever again. We are the destination. But the thing about being on top, well, first, it feels pretty good. But second, you got to put in the work to stay there. That means investing in ways that create a bright workforce. It means investing in the next generation of sites that we can bring these businesses to. The budget that I have submitted to the General Assembly does just that. First, in building a world-class workforce, it starts with a world-class system of public education. My budget would provide nearly $2 billion in additional funding to our public school systems. Just imagine what else that we can do if we properly fund these systems and even fully fund not just kindergarten, but pre-kindergarten, where every single child would be kindergarten ready. And just think how we open up our workforce when those parents that are struggling to either find or afford childcare suddenly can send their child to the most high-quality experience from the professionals that know how to get it done. We don't stop there. We have an investment fund, $150 million in a site identification and development fund. With that idea that Landing Ford Motor Company, in the largest single investment in our history, $6 billion, 5,000 new jobs, didn't happen overnight. It was years of investing in that Glendale site, in making sure the utilities were there, in doing the road work. We've got to make sure we're doing that at sites all over Kentucky to get them not just shovel ready, but in today's world, they have to be build ready. That's how we can make sure that Nelson County will compete for one of these battery supply chain facilities, because they're in the supply chain in the United States, and we are going to have the largest producing facility anywhere. So why not here? Why not Nelson County? And as Kentucky, let's go out and get as many of them as we can. Our investment